folks. Howdy, howdy. We're waiting on Angela to join, everybody. Do I have too much space above my head? Maybe. I think it'll be fine once Angela joins. Angela's coming on here. Angela Shelton, truth teller, trauma healer, Emmy Award winning. But this damn thing isn't working. I just resent her the key, so hopefully that works. Don't see why it wouldn't. There she is.
Hey,
Hello.
here we go. Is it working? Aha!
I need to zoom myself in a little bit though. Hold on.
That's always the case. You need to zoom yourself in. Look what I did. Look what I have. I'm gonna behave and not eat this with my hands.
Um, can you see by chance if we're... I know we're live on the YouTubes. Oh, you just cooked that, huh?
Mm-hmm. You're like, well, I do it a little. I cooked it in butter.
That's all you need is some butter.
It is.
Extra butter.
We are live.
We're live a lot of places. I don't know. I think I fixed Rumble, but I'm not sure.
We did it.
I'm not sure.
Jesus in the house. So I just sent a message to all my people and said, please, 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 please buy me a bottle of loot.
Yes, please buy some loot, people.
Can you please buy me like 15 bottles of loot, please? Please.
Mainly because it's wonderful.
Mainly because what?
It's wonderful, and I would like to spread it to the world before, things inevitably change.
Oh God, I just can't even. Okay,
But I'll stay ahead of the man anytime they.
Your head. There's a lot of room above your head. I love how. Why can't we go like fix all the tech and then go live?
I've been working on it for 10 minutes.
Behind the scenes.
It's for people that don't do this stuff. It's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, no,
all right, if you're telling me, I'll switch it.
This is why you want to the awesome tech person that runs everything would be great. Yeah. Hey everybody. Hey.
Is that better? I hope that's better.
It's better. Oh, hey everybody, look.
So
advertising.
I don't know if I was gonna try to check to see if Rumble was working, but I'm not sure.
Rumble.
I was gonna tinker with that stuff, but instead I tinkered with how to get you connected for the last 10 minutes. So
that is so annoying. Yeah. Here we go. Let me see. Live. Rumble has no videos. I should love technical issues. So on a good note,
I just refreshed it, the Rumble, because I did.
So I'm having dinner with y'all. This is what I'm doing because my kid and her dad and grandparents, all of them have that coming out of both ends sickness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, coming out of both ends sickness.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Like those 3-day stomach bugs. So I'm avoiding everyone. I was like, oh my God. Just watching them be sick, I suddenly felt sick. You know what I mean? So I'm eating a steak. I'm drinking my raw milk. What else should I do? My doctor.
So you're
this is Sean. He's
feeling fine though, correct?
I'm very tired, and I feel. Oh, I've had a headache all day.
Okay.
I'm blaming the chemtrails.
Well, did you hear that? I don't know if I told you or not, but in Tennessee, they just passed that. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm trying to put the.
You better stop.
The stream key into the stupid Instagram, because every time you connect with Instagram, every day you have to put in a new stream key. So
that's annoying. Well, hey, so for those of you who don't know that are just coming in, Sean made loot, and here's my bottle. I'm gonna get it. Loot! And also regenerate. And you know what I did?
What'd you do?
Loot. This is the thing that I love. This. Please send me a bottle if you love me. And regenerate is amazing. So I put both. I put a big old. I'm talking like a shot of loot. I'm like it's a hefty, like that much. In here with a ginger beer, tonic water, and about 2 servings of regenerate. It is delicious.
Right on.
The combo is so good. And now, because we're doing our own thing, I can drink that much loot because usually I take a little sip of loot for my asthma.
Yeah.
But when I take a shot of loot, y'all might be like, what's she talking about? She's happy.
A shot does work.
Yeah, seriously. That was
It
it.
really does work. So I don't know if you're able to check where we're streaming, but I know it looks that we're streaming everywhere but Rumble again, even though I fixed Rumble. Apparently not, but I did refresh the Instagram key, so you know what happens when you talk about truth on Instagram? They're gonna like log me out for a week, and then
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna like need your help to get back into my Instagram because
Stupid.
somehow it thinks my IP address is in Pennsylvania now. So only Pennsylvania addresses can reset it, apparently.
I don't see you on Instagram live.
No?
No.
Grandmother's spatula.
Crap, or lots of spatulas. Maybe that's a good thing, though.
I mean, it shows green on here. It says
Right.
streaming on Sean.Gilder. And it said, apparently it's both of our YouTubes, Facebook, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Instagram. The only,
Facebook.
yeah, the only red that I see is Rumble, which is frustrating. But,
Hey, it's tech issues. Tech issues are painful.
yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, I just even updated the stream key to. Ooh, maybe I just found what's going on here. Copy this.
Okay, so to keep it exciting over
Yeah,
here.
please. Yeah,
I'm like,
please.
as an audience, I'm like,
Please
what are y'all
help.
doing? What the
Please help.
fuck?
If this doesn't work, I quit for today because.
Sean.
it's
So I
just
call Sean
unable
instead
to
of a
connect.
doctor now. For those of you who are. I wish you didn't have as much. Hey, Gene. Where are you watching, Gene? On YouTube. Okay, it's got a little YouTube on there. Okay, we've been in our tech setup for 8 minutes. We're okay. Gene. So this is Sean Gilder. He is the one in Nashville.com, and he's the one that I call instead of allopathic doctor. Look at you. You came. Look at what I'm doing.
Is that zoomed in enough for you?
It's okay. It's good. It's
Okay.
good. I would like it, you know,
More zoomed in.
with different lighting.
I feel like I'm a little extra white today. It looks. Usually I'm like, I don't know, whatever.
You're extra white. I'm super white.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I had my ancestry done, and I'm the whitest white that ever whited.
Huh. Well, all you have to do is identify as whatever, and then you can check. It's very easy. It's very easy these days. I'm a houseplant now. Can you tell?
A houseplant. I like it. I identify as a houseplant. That's funny. I've never heard that one. The red-tailed hawk is the one that gets me.
Educate yourself.
So, doctor, I got to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
I just spent, well, no, I'm going to commend you because you really helped me with my health. And people who say, like, wait, you're 51? I'm like, yeah, no. And it's because I've been following your advice, eating grass-fed meat, raw milk, and I have not been following all of, everything, but I've been taking magnesium. I put Celtic salt in my water. I take loot. The recent big realization I had, which was like that I'm like, this works, is I just went through a mega class that was like 12 hours a day plus homework. It was like you're like back in college almost. Like it's like intense. Used to, I would have been so busy that I'd just grab a slice of pizza or, just quick. Like I'll eat a egg sandwich or something, and I just, during all that, because I wanted to stay as energetic and as focused as possible, so let me tell you if I did it right. Was this approved by Dr. Sean? Of course, there's going to be people like, he's not a doctor.
Yes, I don't identify as a doctor. I don't identify as a doctor because
Oh, right, you're a houseplant.
I'm a
So
house plant.
I ate boiled eggs, avocado, steak, milk, and then I used the bone broth powder as a snack.
Yeah.
And basically that's what I ate in all different kinds of ways. And then I made stews. I took the milk and I put meat in the milk and
Whoa.
made an amazing soup that was like I literally was like, I want to marry myself. I want to ask myself to marry me because like literally it was a curry. I did curry spice milk base with
Mhm.
ground beef, and then once it was, I mean, it was delicious. And then when it was done, I sliced a raw egg like they do in
Okay.
some Asian dishes, you know. So that I sliced a raw egg in the soup. Holy Jesus, that was so good.
That sounds delicious.
Like delicious with curry. It was curry, spicy curry, red curry, and that was it. Meat, milk, egg. So basically, that's all I ate for these days.
Yeah,
In just
the only
and it,
thing in there that sounded like not
avocado.
useful, yeah, is the avocado.
Why? I thought that was the fat. I'm going for the fat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think if you're doing all that other stuff, you could avoid the pesticides that are on an avocado.
Do the pesticides get through the skin of the avocado?
I don't know. I'm not super well versed in the
You're
in
like,
what.
I don't eat plants.
Well, yeah, it's probably grown in California. California uses tons of
Mexico.
tons of. Oh, is Mexican avocado? That's probably better. But a lot of California avocados, they just that area of California where they do agriculture is just
Poison.
hosed down
Yeah. Well,
with pesticides. That's why you don't want to eat almonds because a lot of them are from California and they're just literally hosed down with pesticides from
that's
that part of the
insane. Yeah, I pretty much stay away from California.
world. Yeah,
It's
but
such a it's such a shame because I love that state. It's such a beautiful state, but holy God, they've lost their
sure
mind.
is. Yeah, it sure is beautiful. Yeah,
But
it's a shame.
I noticed huge difference in my energy,
Hmm.
and I was able to, I was also 3 hours ahead of the
Hmm.
class. Then like so when it's it's 10, I'm up until 1.
Hmm.
And I kept thinking about you. What would Sean do? What would Sean eat?
Yeah.
Steak.
Well, you did it. I mean, the collagen mixed with the milk, mixed with, and then I sent you that steak protein powder, right? This stuff is crazy. It's made
Oh,
with steak,
well, no, you
collagen,
did send me that. I
and
didn't.
organ meats. It tastes like chocolate.
I didn't get.
Mark Bell is the brand. It's
I'm looking at
mixes so good with raw milk.
Mark
It's a dessert.
Bell steak
Tastes so good
steak
that
shake.
yeah, steak shake. That's exactly it.
That's amazing.
It
Okay.
kind of smells not great, but
I,
once you mix it in milk, it tastes amazing. You're gonna love it. You're gonna
I'm
get rid of
in.
that ancient nutrition stuff. Plus that ancient nutrition brand, I think that's what you're taking now.
Yeah, it's delicious, but
A
it's
lot of their stuff, they use chicken collagen and different collagens. They're not using. Yeah. So does that one use what kind of collagen is in that?
oh my God, you're asking me to read something? I'm like, is this uh cut to shit?
Put your glasses on.
I'm like, I don't even know. Hold on. Where are my glasses? They're in the other room. Wait, hold on.
Anyway, a lot of that ancient nutrition stuff they use
Oh my God, chicken bone broth. You're right. Holy fudge balls.
exactly because they have like 3, 4 different
I'm
kinds and
like,
they're not
what
all
the fuck?
right. And it's not as I mean it's still better than nothing, but if you're gonna spend the money, you might as well get bovine. And the Mark Bell stuff is all bovine. And the
Okay.
Mark Bell stuff tastes so good, you could add a scoop of that collagen stuff and not wreck the flavor too much because
And
it's so
Jean's watching, and Jean was on my live
very
this morning
good.
because I go live on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. Not here, but
Okay.
um, And we were talking about on my Zoom in my email list. People are like, and we were talking about things to have to prep, you know, when the lights go out, kind of thing. And I don't want to live in the fear because I'm not in that whole survival like super fearful side. But you should cover your ass and be prepped. And we were talking about things like this, not to have this, but like a bag of bone broth.
Yeah.
Maybe the steak stuff, because it's like all these people who are preparing with like, I got your Patriot box. It's a bunch of kidney beans.
Yeah, and who
But
wants
you're gonna be in your bunkers pooping on yourselves.
Yeah, I think just holding a bunch of water. Like I've got like I don't know 50 gallons of water or something like that.
Oh wow.
You know,
Okay.
because that's where you're gonna, you know, you need the water.
What's the water that you get when you go to the store to just buy it? Obviously, ideally in glass, if you could get it.
It's
And I know your
Mountain Valley.
favorite, Mountain Valley. But if you can't get Mountain Valley, if you're at your supermarket or whatever,
Mhm.
do you go distilled? Do you go spring water? Do you go blah
I
blah blah?
think
You buy.
not plain water is the best. You know, you want to do a tea, or you want to drink milk, or you want to put some lime, some vinegar, some salt. Just not plain water. But yeah, mineral water would be the best, and Mountain Valley, from what I've read, is the best bang for the buck. I'm sure there's better waters that are exotic. I mean, there's deuterium depleted water if you want to go
Right.
down that rabbit hole,
But
which does make a difference. Like it makes my voice stronger when I consume deuterium depleted water.
that's crazy. Just like
Um,
flaxseed oil.
yeah, black seed oil
Wow.
does that too.
Jean says that might save her money too and be healthy. 100%, Jean. Eating this way is expensive when you first buy it because the meat that I'm buying is really expensive.
Hmm.
But I'll have a great steak all day.
Right. Well, you know, it's really not that expensive because you can get $5.88 grass-fed Whole Foods meat now. There's also $5.88. Maybe Whole Foods.
Walmart.
Maybe Whole Foods is $6.88, but Walmart's $5.88 for grass-fed, grass-finished, 80/20 ground beef. So obviously that's not as good as a ribeye, but it's still, you know, I mean, you know, if you're
I do feel the best.
150 pounds or less, 2 pounds of ground beef.
Now
with
talk to me
butter.
about, because as I'm a convert, the carnivore diet has 100% worked. Do you stay
Right.
on it? Because I was talking to some people, they're like, oh, I did that for a month. It felt great. I felt amazing.
Well, yeah,
Stop.
I think you do the carnivore or the all grass-fed ruminant is what you want to do to get yourself back together, and then you want to get back on fruit.
Fruit.
Yeah, because I think bodies do great in a carbohydrate depleted state to heal, but if it goes too long, then it's a stressor on the body to not be
Gotcha.
consuming both fuels. But then you don't want to go back to eating grains. I mean, grains are peasant food. And I mean, they literally are. I mean, most of the stuff, when we're hunter gatherers, apex predators, were we eating twigs or brightly colored fruit? I mean,
Or rabbits.
yeah, or rabbits, or
I don't know why people don't eat more rabbits. You know why? Because they scream like a real baby when you kill them.
Oh, well, there's one reason.
That's why.
Plus, I think it's, you know, if you have the opportunity to take down a cow, you can
Oh my God.
kill a cow and you have meat for
This
lunch.
This is not a program for vegans. They're like,
No, it's not for vegans. Any rate, so I think you add honey, you add fruit, but no grains. And then I think the problem that I have with vegetables is that they're just so hosed down with pesticides. And I know you can buy organic, but unless you know the farmer and unless you know where it's coming from, I think it's really hard to. And then the thing is, it's like, okay, the nutrients that you get per the amount of pesticides, per the amount of work needed to cook, prepare, season, because I mean, look, fruit is great out of the box. You eat fruit, it sets off all kinds of feel good. This is
I
delicious.
am so not a fruit girl. I like apples, and I have done that. I've grabbed apples, but like, what fruit do you eat?
A lot of berries. I like pineapple, apple, citrus fruits. You know, the lime in the water in the morning.
Aren't you getting the same issue with pesticides with the fruit?
Yeah, no, there's like don't eat strawberries. Strawberries are like incredibly polluted.
Oh, because
You
they're
can,
just soaking it up. They
yeah,
just like
they just
soak it
soak it
too
up.
much.
Yeah, and then I do buy organic, but I just think the nutrients plus the taste, if you're gonna get a little bit of pesticides, fruit gives you a lot more than vegetables.
Huh.
Plus, a lot of vegetables come with oxalates, which are inflammatory. So it's a higher inflammatory food. So it has less nutrition from the jump. Then you put pesticides on it, then it's worse. So just the most nutritive food in my research is ruminant meat, which is cow, bison, deer, elk. And then cow is the best because cow has the most fat.
Ah.
So cow, is the best out of all of them. Organ meats, ruminant meat, fruit.
I like balls.
I told you, right?
I
Like
love me some balls. Hey, Gene, if you go to Bison, what is it? Bison,
North Star bison.
North Star Bison. Yeah, there's bison balls that are so good. And then you can be like, I like eating balls. And if you
It's
take that, it's not doesn't come like a big ball. It doesn't come
the
like a
thing.
big ball in a package. It's ground like ground beef, but it is so
People
delicious.
people are like, what? I'm not eating organs.
Yeah, you
And
are.
I look. I get it. Like the texture of them is not my thing. But North Star bison puts it into ground
Ground beef,
beef
yeah.
blends, and then it's delicious. So I'm trying to get my local Mennonites to do that for me, ground up the organs and into ground beef like North Star, and I'm gonna buy it from them.
Mm.
But we'll see. Um, yeah, so the
No,
organ meats, ruminant meat, fruit,
I'm
the
doing that.
least amount of inflammatory oxalates, the
What's an
maximum
inflammatory?
nutrient.
What's an
Well,
inflammatory?
what anything inflammatory is, there's a lot of things that are inflammatory, but oxalates are one thing that's inflammatory. And then in
What's
grains,
oxalate?
oxalates are in a lot of vegetables. It's
What's
in
oxalate?
it's in a lot of vegetables, especially in like kale, the dark green stuff, Brussels sprouts. You know how like everybody knows if you eat too many Brussels sprouts, you'll get sick,
I
like a
didn't know that.
little
I just know you
upset
fart.
stomach. A lot of people know that. Or the reason why beans are the musical fruit. There's
Everybody's getting those.
inflammatory factors in there's nothing inflammatory in fruit and in meat, but there is in vegetables, legumes, nuts.
Really?
Hmm.
Because I was when I'm going to the festivals and dancing and wanting to like have when I first started
Yeah,
talking about food, I made this awesome nut combo with macadamians. Uh,
yeah,
what's the one that's real pistachios?
yeah. I mean, it's better than eating Ruffles.
What's oh love potato chips.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like eating, yeah. It,
God, speaking of that, getting my child to eat healthy. Oh my God. When you don't have the support of the other side
yeah.
that
Well,
doesn't believe
plus,
all this stuff, I'm just like, oh God. So I've been what's really worked for me with the kid, my child, is magnesium. That magnesium thing you told me about, there's
mm,
a like magnesium powder for kids on actually it
yeah,
wasn't even necessarily for
it's
kids.
not for kids. It's the magnesium L-threonate fruit punch flavor.
Yeah.
Which I haven't. That's a great idea that you have. I haven't froze
I'm
them
telling you, I
into
use that
popsicles,
and
but I bet that's
I make
awesome.
popsicles.
But then I
And
bet the
mash.
milk is awesome too. Like if you just
Yep.
put it on the milk, because then you're getting real nutrients, even though you're getting sugar and all of that, but you're getting real nutrients out of real food.
David, Another reason is if you think about seeds and plants that grow by cuttings, they want to be less digestible to make them more likely to sprout.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's just they're not a top tier food. You know, like I said, it's mainly fruits, ruminant meat. That's your top tier food. Honey.
So basically, them rednecks out in the back, they're killing the venison. Like the hunters are gonna live. Is
I
what
mean,
you're
this is why they can smoke cool longs, 4 packs a day and still be strong because they're eating all the right stuff
and they're out in the sun.
and
Yeah,
they're
that's
out
the
in the
other
sun.
thing. I've been getting out in the sun, drinking the water, and you know what? A lot of people now are doing this 75-hour thing or 75 thing. It's like a where you follow this one uh, diet. You pick a diet like carnivore, and you
Hmm.
follow it for 75 days. But you drink a gallon of water a day, but they don't tell you to put any minerals in it. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
oh no!
I'm sure when people are detoxing, they need a lot of water, but also I don't know. Yeah, it seems like too much water without minerals. I'd put humic acid, diatomaceous earth, shilajit, some vinegar,
Shilla
some
shit.
lime.
What's shilla
Shil-
shit?
Shilajit, it's like rock sweat.
It's like what? Rock sweat?
It's kind of like rock sweat. It's a lot of it's from
Oh my
like
god.
mountains. It has a lot of minerals. One of the big mineral in it is humic acid, which you can buy independent of shilajit. But just not plain water is the key. Put some salt in it. Put something in it, so it's
I got
not
trace
plain water.
minerals finally. So I have trace minerals,
Yeah. Put
earth,
yeah.
diatomation.
Right.
And,
Put something in the water.
and if you were to open my water can and look in it, you're like, that's not water.
Yeah. Well,
I've
especially
got
with
so
the
much
diet.
shit in here now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it tastes good. It tastes salty. But I've
Yeah.
gotten really used to it, and I really like it. In fact, when I add plain water, I feel very like, oh, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
missing something.
Yeah. The salt with the citrus is really nice.
Mm. You mean adding like a lemon or something?
Lime I like, but lemon would be fine too.
And then also you have to be careful where you get those.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as a strawberry. You
What
know,
is shittle? What is it? What is it?
Shilajit. It's like rock sweat. It's minerals.
Minerals. Okay.
It helps detox
Mm.
bad minerals out of your body because it's so loaded with all the minerals that you need.
Oh, hey, David got it. David has it going on. He's taking shit. DE. What's DHEA? Is that what that is?
Yeah, so DHEA is a precursor to a lot of hormones. So,
That's
once
some. Sorry.
DHEA,
He says he has regenerate every morning with collagen, DE, and shit, and
sure.
it's some sludge going down. It is. That's why you got to add
Yeah.
something sweet, a honey or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that awful, but
It's
I
not
can drink it
awful.
fine. But the lime, the salt, diatomaceous earth,
Right.
shilajit, because you're putting a little tiny bit of shilajit in quite a bit of water. So, but shilajit does not taste great.
I mean, I love regenerate, and but it takes it has an acquired taste. But I have. David? Were you on here? I have Loot, regenerate, a ginger beer, and tonic water in here,
Yeah, yeah, that's
and it's
or a
no.
little bit of tart cherry. You were
He'll watch me
saying
get high, y'all. I'll be like, hey,
a little bit of tart cherry. You were saying really jazzes it up.
oh my god, the tart cherry is great. And I tried one where I did you put in a muddler, you put like mint or something. I did basil in a little muddler thing with
Yeah,
tart cherry juice, ginger beer, and Loot and regenerate. That is
goodness.
a party.
The thing that you're doing with sipping on it and keeping the burn going longer, that's really interesting. Um, that's cool. I wonder how that I could see that working better. I could see that making it hit
Hey,
harder.
it's working. It's just I put a lot of Loot in this, like in the days when I don't drink Loot because I don't want to be. It depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah,
For this class I was in, I wasn't allowed to have any kind of altering thing, so I didn't drink Loot. But drinking regenerate, consistent, like sipping it, and it does. It keeps you
Mm-hmm.
hot. How'd you get hot? I think regenerate.
Regenerate.
But I am okay. So I feel tired. I have a headache. I've had a headache all day, and my
Mhm.
kid is sick, and all the family's sick. So I'm like, fuck. So I
You know,
ate. So like, what do you do, boss?
well, I mean, headaches number one cause is dehydration,
Yeah,
so
that's what I
I
thought.
would get hydration up.
Mhm.
Sinus stuff can cause dehydration. So there's a bunch of acupressure points that you can push on the face to kind of help. It's kind of like to the left and right of the nose, uh, down lower, little, yeah, like around there. If you feel it, there's like a little hole
Oh
in
yeah,
your
yeah.
throat.
I feel that. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I feel that.
yeah. So there's a spot there. Also, the brow. Uh, and
Yeah.
you can also kind of spread the nose apart with that point there. Yeah, well, but you're going a little too wide, but yeah, that's close. That's
Jesus.
about right. Then the brow area, right? You
Wow.
know,
Who knew there was a little spot right here?
well, if you
Brow.
look at it, yeah, that little spot right there,
Oh
if you look
yeah.
at that, that's where the nerves, there's a hole in your skull for nerves to come through.
Ooh,
So that, and the lymph rides the nerves, so that's why that spot that you were on before is so potent.
this one
Then,
here.
then the other spot would
Oh
be, yeah, that's a good one there. The
wow.
other the other spot would be behind the ears where your biggest lymph node is, which is kind of like where the jaw meets the neck behind the ear.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
you want to work that, and then tapping that is great. And then of course you don't want to do any of this without clearing the main lymphatic drain, which is both collarbones.
This down here.
Yeah, above and below both collarbones.
Yeah. This and you do that first. Oh, that is so
Yeah,
sore.
yeah, above and below. Yeah. So, and
Oh,
then you do those other points because if you have a clog there, then you're gonna, you know, whatever you're doing north of that
could I
isn't
do
gonna.
that with my kid? I wonder.
Sure, yeah, for sure. Get above the collarbone too. Is that a? That's all below, right?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Above collarbone, like here.
So that's below the collarbone.
Oh, collarbone. Oh, duh. You mean
Yeah,
this is your collarbone right
yeah.
here?
You want to do above and below the collarbone.
Shit. There's like a little sore place. Okay.
Yeah,
Ow.
yeah, and then do uh, the points on the neck and the
Oh, I
next to the
see.
nose.
So there's a whole protocol order in which
Right,
to do this. Where do
right.
you go to learn this?
Perry Nicholson is my favorite
Yeah, I
lymphatic
like
guy,
that guy.
but there's a lot of lymph guys.
Oh God, he's stopped chasing pain, right? Stop chasing pain.
That's right.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then do the all the points above that,
I
and then
thought I was doing well, and now I'm like, I'm sore. I'm
one, and then the rub is great, but then also go to the tap. Don't forget the tap, above and below the collarbone.
oh God. Just when they thought you were weird.
Yeah,
Oh, by the way, side note, just when they thought you were weird, I gotta show you. So you know Brave New World, Aldous Huxley.
yeah, for sure.
He also wrote The Art of Seeing.
Okay.
Only problem is the font's too small. I can't read it.
Ew.
So I skipped ahead to some of the practices because he's basically saying all our eyeglasses and everything, forget it, just cure
Mhm.
your eyesight. And there's
Right.
these ways that this one is one way to go in the sun, of course, because you tell me to go in the sun all the time. Cover one eye and then in the sun go like this, so you get the sun and the white, and then
Yeah.
go like this. So I'm like, so that's a
So
great way to make friends.
all this says to go back and forth too.
Yep.
The other thing about it is your eyeballs actually connect to the back of your neck. So if you have any tightness on the back of your neck, if you work the back of the neck, that can help it. But yeah, no, that's eye strengthening exercises.
Yeah.
But then the other part of it is you have to have strong eye control. And then the other part is the lymphatic drainage. Because if your lymphatics are backed up into your head, it'll back up into your eyes. and then your eyes will fail as well. So yeah, all those all those eye exercises are great. You know, when you do those eye movements by default, right?
When? What?
Well, when you're hunting,
Oh,
or
bike.
or, or when you're biking, right? Or if you're doing like EMDR, which
Yep.
is, you know, some.
God, just when I thought I was getting so much better and feeling so much better, I'm like, oh yeah, the lymph nodes. I'm totally fucked.
No,
I,
no,
I
no.
gotta get some hands on me.
Heyo.
Yeah. David said I was doing a lymph massage with your 5 and 7-year-old. That's awesome. It helped them clear out to go to sleep with allergies. That's great.
Yes.
My kiddo, that might if it was like knowing her, if she saw some kind of video about it explaining it, she and then like sent it to me, you know.
Yeah, send her to Perry Nicholson. Perry Nicholson stuff is great, and it's not there's he calls it the big six. There's a lot of lymph points beyond the big six, but the big six is where to start, which is collarbones, behind the neck, where the pectoral meets the shoulders, both groins, back of both knees, and then the stomach.
Both groins. You mean like on the outside?
Yeah. So like groin going towards the stomach, you rub that area.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's collarbones, behind both ears, pectoral to shoulder connection, groins, knees, back of the knees, not front of the knees, and then stomach. That's the big six.
Okay.
And there's really no wrong way to do it, but if you tinker with it, doing different things, tapping versus rubbing, and little tapping, little rubbing, you can find, sometimes you'll have like you'll start to hear better. You'll have like a pop in your ear or something, or yeah, it's just
Wow.
not, the first time you do it, maybe it'll take 10 times, but eventually you'll have something happen while you're doing it, and then you're like, oh, this is cool. I need to do this all the time.
Huh.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then, there's so many things like vagus nerve stuff where you can chant or sing or different places
What?
to tap. Yeah, there's so many ways that we can influence our health for free that you don't need a prescription or a white coat to tell you what to do.
Well, the white coats are going to only make you sicker,
Yes,
except
that's my experience.
except with people that really bought into it. They will argue that all day long.
Yeah.
No, I
They,
like taking 15 pills and being sick and heading into my 5th surgery. Shut up.
well, yeah, that's the thing. They have a lot of stuff to mask symptoms or to give you the appearance that you're better for a few months. But then you still have to detox from the medicine that you took too. So
Well,
it's
once you actually love you, my sensei. Hey, Dale. Where is the vagus nerve? Gene wants to know.
vagus nerve is known as the wandering nerve. It's the biggest nerve in the body. Some people say that it stretches from the brain all the way to the feet. Uh, but
My wandering nerve. You got
it's a
some nerve.
big nerve, but it goes from at least from the exit where it comes out of the skull behind the ears down all through the stomach. A lot of folks will say that it is your gut brain connection. So where your gut instincts come from, stuff like that,
Yeah.
would be vagus nerve.
Wow.
It seems to me in my reading, and you won't find this in all of the reading about the vagus nerve, but I believe it does actually go down to the feet, as some people
Wow.
do. But I also believe it's a nerve that is easily damaged. So it's kind of like the nerve will go down to the feet if your organism is healthy, well fed, well rested, and everything's working right. Then yeah, your vagus nerve wanders all over the whole body.
Maybe
But
I'm.
it goes at least from the head, the brain, um, also through the trigeminal nerve. It connects to that. So that's why if you have any jaw problems or teeth problems, it screws up your whole system because that connects to the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is the nerve that controls your fight or flight.
Huh. Wow, because I was just thinking about the women that I've known that had that full body surgery. Like they'll do
Full Montag.
tummy. What'd you say?
Full Montag.
Full on tag.
Montag. Heidi Montag was one of the first stars to get everything done in one go.
Oh my god! It's like you get a butt and they take your
Butt, breasts.
fat from your
Yeah.
and put it. Yeah, it's like wow, you just totally
I,
that vagus nerve is gone.
right, yeah, because they're just chopping up all your nerves. You know, if you're doing a tummy tuck or something, if you ever watch a video of when they're doing that, they're just jamming this tube into your
Yeah.
stomach and vacuuming up parts of your body that get in your vagus nerve. Yeah, it's crazy.
I have seen it.
We're gonna in 100 years, if we don't have anything, a major event that interrupts the the history of the world, this era is gonna be looked back upon as the most savage.
Yeah, I mean that. Well, when you start researching, especially through you, and like I mean, if you start watching people who like can open their minds and watch Ian Carroll,
Oh, Ian Carroll, what a gem!
oh my god, I love that guy.
Yeah,
Y'all should follow him anyway.
yeah,
But if you start following all that and really seeing the history and seeing who owns what, and you know, it's kind of like my science fair project that I never shut up about when I was 12. When you start seeing who owns everything and the poison, the allopathic medicine and all that, I mean, it really is holy shit terrifying. Like we have to just
yeah.
like dismantle the whole thing.
It makes you understand the Amish and the Mennonites. It's as though they figured this
real.
out 100+ years ago, that they were like, oh, everything is corrupt. We're gonna exit society. That's it. It really makes one appreciate that they knew that years ago. So, yeah, and I'm sure those people expected modern society to blow up way before.
Long time ago.
Right, a long time ago now. As I'm sure did the Ruby Ridge people, and as I'm sure, the so many, quote unquote cults or actual cults, or just people that tried to exit from society in years past. Because there's so much evidence to suggest that we're on borrowed time already. But I'm not a doomsdayer. I think that there's a faction of people that would like to. They think that if everything is blown up, that then they have a chance to rule the world. But thankfully, that there's always been people that are like, pump the brakes, buddy. Let's not do that. And
Dale says it. I think a lot of us don't have much time left, so we do whatever makes us happy. I think we should embrace whatever that is and make sure that way. Yeah, same.
I think that before we were programmed to be a doctor or to be a lawyer or to go into the handful of acceptable ways to thrive, we had instinct and callings where this was your passion and you did this passion. So I think if whatever it is that you're passionate about, see if you can make a living doing something that's related to that passion.
That's what you did. I wrote about you in my new book, about
Like,
that very thing. Like you engineered your life to do what you want to do.
right,
You ride bikes and you're helping people with their health, and then that's
right.
and you used to be CE, like in the CEO world, like that like corporate, like
Yeah, it was,
jail.
well, yeah, it was. Well, I
Corner
also
office jail.
when I was younger, I was really into computers, and then I, was an IT professional for close to 20 years, if I include when I started at like.
You got nothing out of your wait. Dale says, sorry to interrupt you, but Dale says you got nothing out of your question. What you talking about? He says, "Thank you, Shauna. Your perspective is real. I appreciate it, but
What
that,
question?
with all due respect, I got nothing out of my question. What question did you ask? Did you got nothing? What
Yeah,
happened,
what was the question?
Ask again.
Yes, please do ask again. You did read one of his questions. What can you read that again?
A lot of us don't have much time left, so we do whatever makes us happy. That ain't no question. It's a statement.
Oh, a lot of us don't have. Well, why don't you have much time left? I mean, is it?
Oh, well, you want to say, Dale? That's up to you.
Oh, yeah. If it's an illness, then yeah, absolutely follow your passion.
My thing, like, just that blows my mind, honestly, is the amount of people who are on mental meds.
Mhm.
Talk about like wanting to escape, and they're putting it in their freaking bios, like the SSRI, whatever. I'm on, like, they got like pill shirts and stuff. Like, it's like cool, but I'm like, wow, that's something to kind of be embarrassed about, not like flaunt, isn't it? I mean, what the
I mean,
heck?
I don't think it's to be embarrassed about
I don't mean
because,
that way. I'm gonna get my shit in store. Anyway,
well,
it's healthy.
well, I mean,
It's healthy. Stay centered.
oh, yeah, you sound centered. It must be the Prozac. Um,
Exactly.
Look, I think that
Oh my god.
I think that all congressmen should be like NASCAR drivers. Their suits should just contain all of their donors.
That would
So
be amazing.
I fully support people that all the drugs that they take, if they would also, you know, it's like powered by Ford, powered by Prozac
I'll
and
be like,
powered by Wellbutrin. Yeah, exactly. Like how
I'm not
wonderful
blue, y'all.
how wonderful would it be if like everybody, but the problem is that people won't, a lot of factions of people won't do it because they're afraid of being judged by others because they live in multiple faces. They live in multiple faces. So they have the face that doesn't exist that they project to the world, which doesn't contain who they actually are, which leads to nothing but pain. I say it all the time. It's the Japanese proverb that the Japanese have three faces. One you show your friends, one you show your family, and one you show no
So
one.
no one.
And so that person, just has two personalities, or three, I should say. But then there's people that have more than that
Oh yeah, they do.
because there's people that show one face to one human and one face to another human and one face to another human because they're not comfortable in who they actually are. So then those people don't have any power. The power comes when you integrate. And integration also includes the shadow. If you haven't looked at yourself and been like, well, there is some situations where I could be a savage monster, then you're not fully integrated because we
Right.
have sharp nails and sharp teeth and strong, bodies that are durable. So there's, you have to integrate you know, the animal and the higher consciousness being that you are, and not just shove it under the rug and identify as, you know, a kitten. You know.
Yeah, like I'm a red-tailed hawk. So Dale says, I think he was. I guess it was more of a question for Sean. He apologizes. He's so broad. Oh, I love you, Dale. He says sometimes I struggle with the information you give. Actually, if I'm doing it correctly. That's the
Information.
If
Well,
you do give a lot of information, that's true. It's like the information that is on his site, but then it's really the best thing to book a call with you. I think. Take notes.
yeah. I mean,
Basically, Sean kicks my butt. You and me too, Dale. You and me too.
well, I don't mean to be like that. I don't mean to be like that at all. I was on a call with someone who was very well researched and very well read, and we were talking, for about, I think it was a typical hour call, and then I found out that when discussing what his habits were, he wasn't eating anywhere near enough fat, and all of the fat that he was getting was from inferior sources. So I mean that's a life-changing thing.
Yes,
If you're not getting enough fat, you're not making enough hormones. And then if you're eating the wrong fats, every cell that your body is making is an inferior cell. So you're on the decline. Every copy of a copy that your cells are making is inferior with inferior fats. So I mean, he hasn't booked another call, but I'm I'm gonna follow up with him, just because I'm curious how he's doing. I think it's been about 30 days since. So I'm just curious to see how improving the fats has really helped. But here's the thing: a lot of this stuff sounds complex,
right.
And a lot of it was complex when I started doing it. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's not complex.
It's not.
Actually simple. What's complex is deprogramming yourself from all the propaganda, the food pyramid, You know, that you, all the different lies
Right.
surrounding food. You know, the vegan lie, the red meat is bad lie, that animal fat is bad lie,
Right.
that chicken is healthier than red meat,
The
that
chicken is.
fish
I
is
like.
healthier than red meat. I mean, factory farmed fish is not healthy. They swim in their own feces. So
That's
it's
so funny. You want to
yeah.
swim? Drink water. Fish make love in it. David says, "LOL, that was probably me. I'll be
Oh,
I'll be doing the oil diet fast next week since I got my stuff together. I'm doing better energy wise. Some days are better than others. So in getting fat in your body.
yeah, because
I was actually about to say, what about the dudes, mainly the dudes that I talk to and the women that have that they got it together, but they're just kind of eh. You just like your body feeling matches almost like your negative thought patterns about yourself a little bit. But from what I'm learning, if you do these steps, it's really not that simple. It's really is that it's not that complicated. I mean, and you actually see a change in your energy, which will change your negative thought patterns also when you get healthier. It's like a whole, am I
right,
right?
right, yeah, the body influences the mind, and the mind can influence the body. It goes back. It goes both ways. So yeah, if you have metabolic syndrome, and yes, David was the person's first name that I'm talking about. So
Good job
I
following the
didn't
hip. You ain't
I
weren't
didn't
talking
know
about
that.
it at all. Good
I
job.
mean, and since he acknowledged that it was probably him, I'll acknowledge that it was him that I was talking about. Um, yeah, because really, you know, you need to have 30% of your calories need to be from fat. Otherwise, you will not make hormones. And if you're not making hormones, you're not going to feel good.
That's my
And
point.
you know, one of the things that
Oh,
people, I've never taken exogenous hormones, but people that do, whether it's guys that are on hormone replacement therapy or guys that are on steroids or women that have taken testosterone, when your hormones are higher, your feeling of well-being is higher because we run on hormones. It's that important. So yeah.
where can we get more fat? But first, hold on. Jean says, I read recently that chickens eat poo.
That I don't eat any birds. Birds will eat anything. Pigs will eat anything. Once in a while, I
Human.
have bacon because it's delicious, but that's not a staple in my diet. Birds should not be anyone's staple because, as I just said, one of the big things is that people are deficient in fat. And when you're deficient in fat, you don't make hormones. Do birds have fat? None. The skin, you know, that the skin does, but if you're not eating the skin, you're really not getting any fat out of a bird. They're 99% lean.
Jean
And what,
says, some chicken is fake too. I think it gave me indigestion sometimes over red meat.
I mean, I've had those chicken breasts before, like where it tastes like they shredded chicken and then pressed it into a pat. And how gross is that? You know, and then I've also had those chicken breasts before in the past where I'm like, how big was this chicken? Because this is
I was
enormous.
looking for one of those.
Right. That's not a natural chicken either. And you know what? And I'm sure that they're injecting cows with stuff, but
Oh,
cows, you really don't have to do much. If you provide them with enough grass, they'll get huge within 2 years and provide. There's nothing more efficient than a cow for producing calories for
and
you.
you can hug them. They're good to hug too. I
They
love.
are actually not the
So like
bulls,
you keep one
but
that
the
you hug,
cows. Yeah, the cow. Well, yeah,
and then you have an agreement. Listen, we're gonna kill every other one of your kids. You all right now?
yeah. Well, you know, the problem is
Daddy.
that if you let them get old, the meat isn't as good. It
Gotta
gets
give
tough.
young.
It gets tougher as they get
Dale says if we need more fat, we can use him. He's portly and dateable.
older. Well, hey, cannibalism. I don't know about that,
That's
but
a good question, though. For all my friends who are heavier and are
yeah,
trying to lose weight,
yeah,
they have believed don't eat fat.
that's the opposite. And,
Exactly.
and and not to call out. I'm not calling David out, but also on our call, we were talking about, and he mentioned on this live. This is why I'm bringing it up that he's
Good.
going to do that fat fast.
Mm.
And so it's absolutely the opposite. In order to burn your body fat, your body needs to learn how to use fat as a fuel. And the best way to train your body to use fat as a fuel is to consume fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, ribeye. Yeah, ribeye. Yeah, so and ribeyes are the best because of the fat, because ribeyes contain
Porterhouse.
so much fat. Oh, porterhouse too.
Yeah.
But
I'm ribeye is hard to get now. Everybody has
so
this idea.
so that low fat stuff that came out of the, like, I mean, it's amazing. It wasn't all that long ago that the cabal was really promoting low fat diet. And if you wanted to screw up the hormones of a society, what a great way to do it, to promote a low fat diet. If you want to, you know, and, a low hormone society is a weak society. So, it's purposeful that they push the low fat. It's purposeful that grains are we're at the top of the food pyramid forever, because grains make you dumb. I mean, there's a book called Grain Brain.
Brain.
We should not be eating grains at all, and especially not in the quantity that's recommended.
Well, that's all a ploy for them to get us sick, and then they own. But all of it's coming out. I mean, you said it, the cabal. It's like all of this stuff is like totally being exposed. I am shocked to the moon.
Moon.
I said moon.
Moon.
I'm shocked to the moon by my friends that I've known for years who literally cannot wrap their head around the fact that like everything you know is a lie. And they're like, they wouldn't lie to us. It's our government. They are, it's like,
It's a bummer. I mean, for sure. Like, did we? I mean,
okay.
like, just go back and look at the moon landing with a critical eye.
That was so sexy. I'm just saying what was so sexy. Oh, this Dale, you like it? I like it. Yep. Okay, hold on. David says typically Cornish cross, controlled F4 hybrid, 4 distinct blood lines across to get the Cornish cross. The things are so heavy inbred. A third of them have had heart attacks. What?
I don't know what that is. Cornish.
Sean, can you give me a day of your life of what you eat? Yeah, I wrote a book about him. It's coming out.
It's pretty easy. It's
Meat.
meat, milk, cream, because I'm trying to get max fat. So I do cream, milk, meat, honey, and then fruit. And then if I want like my treat, I'll do dates. I like dates. I like dates with butter.
Ooh.
Yeah, you cut a date in half, get the pit out, fill where the pit was with butter. That's great.
Damn, I have dates next door. Dang it. Hey, and David says he was talking about Cornish cross chickens, by the way.
No birds. Nobody eat birds. Everybody's got to stop eating the birds. There's no fat in bird.
Just for their eggs. Keep them for their eggs because they're awesome.
Eggs are good. Eggs are good. Not bird. Eggs have a lot of fat. Bird does not.
Right. I loved having chickens. I tried to get him again.
Eggs are good.
It's like he hated those chickens. And so my chickens now live on Randy Travis's old ranch in Nashville. No joke. Random. I drove them in the back. I was in one car, and then they were in a pickup truck in those storage bins, driving in a snowstorm from New York to Nashville. I drove those chickens so they could live on Randy Travis's ranch.
That was nice of you.
Yeah, I did it. But hey, Jean says she drinks a lot of unfiltered tap water. Is that okay? No, that's not okay. That is not okay.
It's not okay. Well, I mean, it's fluoride has been proven to lower IQ 10 points. So that means, the difference for some people, 10 points for some people is the difference in being able to work a computer versus not work a
That's
computer.
amazing that you say that the IQ, because I hadn't heard it mentioned before. Because my child is straight up genius. I mean, most people say this, but I mean, my kid is like alien. She's the next level. And I'm like, and I'm just fascinated by her. And I said to her a while ago, I was like, okay, riddle me this, because I do every school project I possibly can. I'm like there. I
Mhm.
wrap presents at Christmas. I'll do it all.
Mhm.
And I know all those kids for the most part, ever since they were her, little teeny like her
Mhm.
coming in. And every single one of the kids in the entire school has a speech impediment. I'm not even joking, except for my kid, who speaks
Yeah.
with diction. And I said to her one day, I was like, how in the actual living heavens in this world does everybody in your school have a speech impediment but you?
Because they're learning disabled.
She says to me, the water, I don't drink it.
Yeah.
That's what she said. The
Well, yeah.
water, I don't drink it. And I was like,
Well, yeah. No. So the problem with tap water now is, it's been tested. It's got fluoride, which will lower your IQ at least 10 points. It's been documented to lower your IQ 10 points. Then you've got the Prozacs, you've got all of the SSRIs, because people are peeing it out that still have valid metabolites. So then you're getting all of the pharmaceuticals from other people.
what the fuck? I never thought about that.
Right. So
That
so
is
it's
what? What do
my
you say?
mic my mic is dropping.
I,
Um,
that wasn't. That wasn't. I'm like, what?
right after I
What?
said that, the mic just dropped on its own. How funny is
I'm
that?
like, oh my god,
But
that's
what a bummer that
up.
is, too. But then if you think about it, we talked about in the beginning of this, Tennessee just passed the Senate that they're banning chemtrails. So now it just has to pass the House, and then Tennessee will be the fourth state out of 50 to ban chemtrails. So if they're spraying stuff on our air, why would, just use your head, why would they not be putting
Yeah.
stuff in our water?
Speaking of
And why
water,
would they not be putting stuff into our food?
yeah,
So why would you listen to the food pyramid?
I've been saying that since I was 12. By the way, I was in the line in the grocery store a couple of days ago. Heavy set cashier, adorable. I know her, but I'm not judging. I'm just pointing out. Heavy set dude. And I was there. I bought something because I don't buy anything in grocery stores anymore. But I was having something, and it's like I was my
Yeah,
lowest amount.
dates and fruit.
Yeah, and I said something to the effect of, "Well, everything else is poison," and if you haven't figured that out, and both of them go, "We know, we hear it, but like life's too short. I'm just gonna eat what I want."
Well, yeah, because so much of that food has things that give you a buzz in it. I mean, bread will give you a buzz.
Oh, that's true.
A lot of the
You're
additives,
doing exactly what the fuckers want you to do.
yeah, a lot of the additives that they put in, I mean, like MSG will light up your brain with delight when you consume MSG, but that doesn't mean that you're going to feel good tomorrow. You can even be in withdrawal from these things. Like people, there's a heroin-like effect from bread in people's brains.
I know what that
That's
is.
why bread is just like,
I like it.
and then bread was specially designed to satiate peasants. And it's literally peasant food. It was literally created to feed peasants.
And then look what's created to feed us peasants. Well, eat your. David says, "AKA, they're turning the frogs gay."
They're turning the frogs gay.
Jean, you think she gets that? Yeah, to sit and just like numb out when you're eating the bread because you. And here's the thing: if I understand, like wanting to just say, fuck it, whatever. I'm just gonna beat myself up." Having been a self beater upper for years,
Mm.
but we all do it in our own ways. So, but I do totally understand how you do it with food and just buying into all the shit because you just want to check out. But when
Well,
you look at it, that it was a war move and those fuckers did it intentionally, and that is where I hope that people can switch their thoughts of like, wait a second, they're actually intentionally
right.
poisoning us. Does it make you a little mad? Like the
Well,
revolutionary in you is like, okay, Jean, stop drinking your tap
well,
water.
but
And what does she do? She says, does she boil the water or to filter it? That's one question. Just keep it anyway.
uh, so the funny thing is like people are like, well, I'm not gonna buy water because it's water. Water comes out of the tap for free. Well, again, once you realize that your government is against you and not for you and has been against you for a long, long time, then you would then decide to not drink the government water because you would know that it's so polluted. But, you know, if you had to drink it, um, some kind of incredible, very time consuming filtering process, distilling, but then if you distill, you need to put back the minerals. So you'll have to put diatomaceous earth or
Oh,
uh,
right. I was thinking,
shilajit. You'll have to put shilajit in it.
oh,
So what I would say is that, you know, Mountain Valley, at least in Nashville, is not a huge amount of money uh, to have it
Mountain Valley
delivered.
water, Gene.
Yeah, to have it delivered to your door. When you buy it in 5-gallon glass jugs, it's not incredibly expensive. I know people are on a budget, but I would say if you're on a budget, grass-fed Walmart beef 80/20, $5.88 a pound. Get the Mountain Valley water, 5-gallon glass jugs. You know, start with 10 gallons a month. You know, see how you feel. You probably won't have to drink as much water when the water is higher quality.
Actually, we should stock up on that anyway, by the way, is the glass jars
Yeah.
for stocking up.
Right, yeah, I've got like 10 of them in my garage just in case. So I'm ahead of if anything happens to deliveries. So you got the beef, you know, your beef per day is what, $12 per day. Your water in a 5-gallon jug, if you're doing like half a gallon a day, it's, you know, less than your beef. And then so what is that? Let's just be generous and then say that you're at $15 a day for food and for beef and water.
Okay.
And that's all that you eat when you're doing the detox is grass-fed beef and water and salt, of course. Essentially, that's all you eat. So that's not very much money. I mean, peasant food will be more than that. I mean, if you're eating the chips.
I was just literally like, my brain, this is where I'm just going to be for real with you.
Yeah.
My brain literally went to, on my OnlyFans, I could say like, hey, it costs me $15 a day to keep me in my meat. So if you want to eat meat, if you want to see me eat my meat or like,
Yeah. I mean, a porterhouse is more than $15 a day.
oh yeah, this was $28.
But the point is you can do it on the cheap. And burger
I
meat.
love that fat.
Burger meat is delicious. I mean, you
add balls to it, because I like eating balls.
If you put the beans from the cow in it, it is the tenderest, fattiest. It's organ meats add a little bit of unpleasant flavor, but the beans add a great flavor, and they boost your hormones too. Yeah, so yeah, the water, 80/20 Walmart beef.
Gene has a good point. Now, true peasant food used to be cheap, but now it's pricey. It's so true.
Right. Well, yeah, because they got people addicted to it, and now people need it and seek it, so they get to raise the price and increase their margins and make more money.
And the fast food places now are really expensive, which is good because it can be. It's true. Like,
well, that's how it was in Europe and in everywhere else in the world other than America. Fast food was expensive.
And you can continue on what you eat, because David says if you take 4 pounds ground and 1 pound liver, you can't taste the liver. Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
Especially some good ground rosemary.
Yeah. And you put a little herbs, salt, and then
Good idea.
Vinegar-based barbecue sauce or something. Now, if it's a high-quality salt, that's all I need for any red meat.
What I need to do, and why the soups work so well, of creating a stew in milk, because I need something that I can just go to, because if I'm running or if I don't want to actually go and cook a steak every time.
I think the ground beef
Broth,
is just
maybe.
so fast, and then you can easily reheat the ground beef too.
That's true. But
But
I mean, I like to just switch it up. That's why I made a soup. I would like a broth thing. I'm doing next. Can you do any noodles or anything? Any kind of like things in the?
so
I mean, what can you?
in
What's
traditional
beneficial? I mean,
Vietnamese food, you've got egg noodles.
I love Vietnamese food.
Egg noodles, would be the best noodle you could do.
Side note: I have such a beautiful
Oh,
Vietnamese movie. Oh my god,
uh,
one day I'm gonna make it.
white rice is not awful for you because it's not really a grain. I mean, it is a grain, but
Wait, what? Speaking of rice, what is your thoughts on the people who are about? It's all about the legumes. I think it is. And like you have to get the little, like you have to peel your tomatoes, and you have to take the. It's either shell is off or on the rice, and it's because of
yeah.
the. It's not legumes, is or is it legumes? You know what I'm talking
Well,
about?
well, yeah. Why you're blending together a few different things.
Right.
Legumes are inflammatory. That's why.
Lechons. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Lechons.
yeah.
Not legumes. That's what I'm talking about. Like my mom follows this one cookbook dude,
Right,
the doctor guy,
right,
like my doctor, and really
right.
is the author.
So
Funny.
nightshades are bad for you.
Okay, so that is
So if you
true.
peel the tomatoes, if you peel the
Oh, what's
tomatoes,
happening? What's that?
that's Poster calling me. I'm just gonna say I'm on a live.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Sure. Um, Angela,
so,
you rock. I'm having to go to dinner. Love you both. Awesome.
so,
Having dinner. You get to go to dinner.
so,
You're.
uh,
Oh, you said you're my rock. Oh, you're sweet, Dale. I love you. How's that?
so nightshades, which are tomatoes, yes, there's more of the lectins are in the skin. So if you peel it,
Lectins.
it's better for you. And that's kind of like what the oxalates are, which is in a lot of dark green greens. That's another inflammatory thing. That's why red meat doesn't contain anything inflammatory. So if
Right.
your system is having an inflammatory reaction, if you have excess inflammation, that's why going to an all red meat diet calms everything down.
I noticed. And it's sad because like my grandma had a beautiful garden, but come to think of it, she's eaten all kinds of tomatoes. She was, and the diet wasn't actually great. And also, she ate so many potatoes.
Yeah, well, I mean, potatoes aren't really bad. I mean,
They're not. Shouldn't you go
well,
straight
white
ahead?
potatoes are a nightshade. If they're not cooked properly, there's toxins in it.
Did you see that joke I put on my Instagram? So my grandmother was so stubborn, like so many of us are, and she's like, "I'm I'm gonna eat it. I don't care." Like the people the other day, like I'm gonna eat it. And she had a late in life diabetes because she ate too much sugar. And go figure. And so she's not supposed to eat potatoes at all. And she goes, "One tater never hurt nobody." And that's what she would say every day. You're like, "Gran, you're not supposed to eat potatoes. One tater never hurt nobody. No, one tater never hurt nobody."
We
And
had,
and I
yeah,
like having conversations and starting conversations with people. I love it. So I'm at my OBGYNs
mm.
and I got my legs in the air because that's how I roll. And I go, "So
Even
hey,
when you're not at the OBGYN.
no, no, I'm not my mother. What?" Um, but I'm talking to the OBGYN like that. I'm like, "What's the craziest thing you've ever seen, like in your whole career?"
Mm.
And she pops up and she goes, "Ha!" She goes, "No, that was not it, but that's funny." And she pops up and goes, "That's funny." Did you get anyway?
Yeah.
So she pops up and she goes, "Oh my God, yes. There was this woman who thought her uterus was going to fall out. So she put a potato up there
Mm.
and it grew. It sprouted and grew into her fallopian tubes, and they had to have surgery to remove the potato patch." What? So I called my grandmother.
I can't say that I wouldn't expect. I would expect that.
I'm like, "What?" So I called my grandmother. I'm like, "One tater can hurt somebody."
Yeah, and I mean, a potato will grow in your cupboard, so I'm sure it grew inside of her too,
Yeah.
probably more rapidly.
Oh my
But
God. But yeah,
how
that happened. Can you believe it?
that's
Oh,
the
my soul, Jesus.
did well, did you hear about that guy that got an MRI with a butt plug in?
What happened?
Magnetic
Did he
resonance
die?
image,
What
which is
happened?
you go inside of a tube with
With the tube.
magnets that spin around rapidly with a metal butt plug in. It wasn't good. Tore him up. Yeah.
What the hell? Like,
And then
dumb
and
ways
then
to die.
and then
So
apparently
many dumb
sued
ways to die.
sued the company. He didn't die because the company claimed that there wasn't any metal in it.
So he wanted to go into this little tight little tube and be there with something up his butt. Sounds like a lot of people.
Apparently the that people have to use that after too much usage.
Oh, I see. Sean, the things I hear out in the world and people ask me or tell me, you literally would just be like, what is happening? Like, why? What's happening?
Too much
Like,
content.
why? This is what you want? That's the SPH blows my mind. I gotta be on a podcast. I gotta hit up a couple of my buddies who have like some of them brother podcasts. I was like, I gotta go talk to the brothers. I gotta tell them. I gotta tell my brothers what's happening out there.
I don't
I
even
feel
know
it's my duty
what it
because there are is okay. Listen, are we are we live? Oh shit! Let me tell you a story.
Yeah,
Ready?
we're live.
Isn't even plugged in. This is how unprepared I was with the tech shit. So this do you know what SPH is? And you know what BBC is?
I've heard of that term.
So I had this. I'll tell this little story just to bring it up to where we're at in this world right now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and then like, oh God, do you tell this information? So this guy hits me up and he goes, "Hey, do you like BBC?" And I'm like,
British
barbecue.
Broadcasting Company?
Well, I just read it wrong, and I just like barbecue. Hell yeah, I'm from North Carolina. I like it, Texas and North Carolina. I like it mixed together. And he's like, no, BBC, and I'm like, British Broadcasting. I mean, I watch sometimes. Why? Why are you asking? He's like, no, Big Black, and I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, what? What? Okay, what are you asking me? And he goes, do you like it? And I'm like, it's not something I sit around thinking about. It's not like I'm dreaming around. So I mean, what do you? I did it once by accident. It's a little shocking, but what I mean, why are you asking me? And he goes, because I want you to my best friend's BBC,
Hmm.
and I want to watch you my best friend's BBC. And I'm like, huh? Well, honey, I'm an open book. You can tell me anything. Thank you for sharing. I love you. But I'm just going to throw something out here. I think you want to do that to your best friend. Am I right? And he's like, oh my God, I've never thought about it before or had a safe place to say it, but you're right, I do. And I was like, honey, listen, we are so, we're so, we're not here long, and you just need to love your life and just take chances and just get in a place where nobody's around, and just say it's your best friend. Just say like, dude, I gotta tell you some weird shit. Can we have a safe place to be like, can I tell you anything? And then if you agree, whatever. But if you don't,
You're gonna tell me that they're dating now?
they're a couple now.
Wow.
They do that, and they do that. That's what happens. And then and then they get girls to do that, and he watches, and then he does it. I'm just like, God, I mean, bless your hearts. I hope you're having fun. And I'm doing God's work out here. I'm doing God's work. And then, like, within the same time, I'm just like, what is even happening in this world right now? This guy hits me up. He's like, hey, do you do SPH? And I'm like, I learned my lesson in this class. In this class, I'm gonna ask first, what does that mean? Because if I don't know what it means, I'm like, obviously I don't know it. And he goes, it's
Oh no!
small penis humiliation.
Wow.
And I'm like, say what now? I was like, and my answer was no, I don't have the time for that. And he goes, wow, you're really good at it. And I'm
Oh,
like,
poor
no,
guy.
I ain't playing with that. I don't play with little dick. Sorry. And he's like, oh my God, you're so good. And I was like, but I am curious. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what do you want actually? Does you want me to yell at you? Like, you're little. I'm like, again, I don't have time for that. And I would go deeper of like, what do you really want? Like, why are you even wanting that? Why are you asking me that?
How
And
was that? Go ahead.
guess what? Guess what? Because deep down, what I really, really want in myself is a BBC. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
What'd you say? It was, and I was like, so wait, tell me again. What are you? He goes, yeah, I'm not gay. I really have this this overwhelming desire to BBC. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a desire to do that with BBC, and also to accept that up the way that your friend was in the MRI. He wishes that was happening to him, and that they
You
would be
know,
a service. So I think you just tell. I can tell my brothers. I'm like, listen, y'all can clean up out here. I can tell you exactly the style of dude. And I'm like, their chances
I,
are pretty
I,
high.
I
And you
think
just
that
walk in and you just go like, you ready?
people are watching too much
It's
porn.
like,
Yes.
what is happening?
People are
Is that
watching too
it?
much
Is
porn. It's
people
corn,
watching too
right?
much porn? It is.
Yeah,
Is that it?
it's
And they're
gotta be
just
it.
totally like unplugged from.
It's gotta be it because we're just like parrots. Whatever we see, we want. So they're watching cornfields, and then they're getting cockamamie ideas in their head.
I'm like, listen, I just not for me, y'all, not for me. But
So,
I understand. You know what I mean? I want to understand like what's underneath it.
mhm.
You know, and there are some experiences that I just I have to have that experience.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
But I'm like, what? Or just tell me the
So,
story. I love the
yeah,
stories are just.
you don't want that SPH.
I don't want SP. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, that,
I do not have time for
you don't want that
SP.
SPH.
Oh, it goes deep. It goes deep.
Not
There's
if it's an SPH.
yeah, it definitely doesn't go deep. It only goes
No,
deep if it's BB.
not with that.
Definitely don't go deep. Oh
That.
hell no. Oh wait, perfect. This is my eye get really thick. Hey Sean. This is
Yeah,
what happens when I've drank loot and we're talking about BC. SPH. Look, does it get big?
you need that for the SPH.
Does
I
it
see.
get big?
Yeah. Then you can't. Then it's not an SPH.
Oh my god, dying.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper. They want little
No, it
cages.
doesn't. If it's
It doesn't. They want little cages, and then you don't even let them like get uh happy. They have a little cage. I'm like, it's already. You don't need a cage. The BBC would need a cage. You don't need a cage. You're fine.
it's so crazy.
And be told what to do, where to do it. And you know how many times I've been offered straight up slaves? And they
What?
even say that. They said, I'll detail your car, I'll clean your house, I'll do your laundry, I'll do anything. Like we could have anything. And you know what? I'm calling bullshit.
Why do you say that?
I'm just calling bullshit. Because there once I was like, all right, fine, go clean my house. I want it spotless. Like I'm scrub everything, go up and didn't do it.
No. Yeah. I
Come
mean,
on, get out,
I'm
out.
sure you have more capabilities of doing that sort of thing than us men's.
Hey,
Uh,
it's a whole new world. I've been in like, stay quiet, stay reserved, and I'm like, nah. I am my little kid self. And you know what? The craziest thing happened recently. I was on my way to this wedding, my redneck family wedding. It was so fun
Mhm.
because my cousins are the sexy wilderness girls.
And he said that none of them are single.
Yeah, no, not anymore. The oldest one, I don't think so either. Well, yeah, they're hot. They're all hot. They're all sharpshooters. They're all like taxidermists. They're hot as hell, and smart, like crazy smart. And anyway, they're. I was on their way to a wedding, and driving there, and so I didn't have a set time to have this one meeting where I have to. It was like super important. I have to be, it has to look nice. I have to be on a Zoom and have the background nice. And I was like, shit. If you're on the road, the best thing to do is go to a hotel
Mm-hmm.
and then use their lobby and say, you say you're on their awards or be on their. Go to the one where you have our awards and just use one of their conference rooms or something. They'll totally let you do it. And so I got there just in time, and I had a very short amount of time to do it, so I had to go to the next exit. And guess what the next exit was? Was
What's that?
Sturgis. Next exit was Sturgis. So I
Okay.
pulled off, and my original name before I changed my name to Angela Shelton, was Angie Sturgis.
Okay.
And so I pull off of Sturgis. I rushed to this hotel, like God willing. It's like I got it, but the last second, and I'm here. And then the question is,
Mm-hmm.
who are you really? And I'm like, and who do you want to be? And like that's the crux of it. Is like what do you want? Who are you? And what do you want? And I literally just pulled off at the exit, Sturgis, as I'm in this I you see the connection? You getting distracted?
Yeah. No, I see the connection because it's your name and yeah.
And it was just such a perfect timing because I'm like blossoming. I'm feeling healthier thanks to you, and I'm doing I'm following my dreams instead of being honestly scared.
Oh, tell me about that.
Oh yeah, I have had a lot of fear. I'm also scared of the bad guy. Bad guys freak me out. They scare me.
The
So
which bad guy? There's a lot of bad guys.
the bad guys that are like at the crux of all this shit.
Oh yes, I mean that is super
It's
scary.
actually scary. It's like you're talking about like fucking devil weird shit raping kids. I mean, it's like, does it get scarier than that? Except when I like hone in my like inner dragon self and I'm like, fuck that, it's not scary at all. You know what I mean? Like I'll just like, I have no fear over you. Or you have none over me. So there's a total duality, and having the conversations of shadow self and shadow work and like going full circle.
Mm-hmm.
It also involves. It is so distracting that you're totally distracted.
No, I just canceled it. I was trying to refresh Instagram and Rumble.
Oh, Rumble.
Yeah.
The tech issues. God, the tech issues.
But I did fix Instagram.
Nuts.
But no, I'm listening to you. But the thing is that, one thing I wanted to say is that to be afraid of those people that have to live in the shadows. And so then what is that fear that makes you want to live in the shadows and not speak your truth? Well, then
And
you're
it's
not,
so hidden that you're like, like
but
that.
then you're not living anyway if you're not speaking your truth. And part of the integration thing that I talk about all the time with integrating the different faces, that's what gives you your power to speak and your power of truth.
Fuck yeah.
And those people don't have that because they have the face that they have to project to the masses, and then they have the face that they have to project in those rooms where they're doing all of this disgusting, vile stuff.
You know how you see the people go crazy in the courtrooms now? Like they'll just like start screaming. The sweet little, dare I say, victims that are like, you've offended my whatever. I picture, what I'm talking about?
When victims freak out?
Well, when they're, It's all over social media. You'll see people with blue or purple hair screaming.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If
It's
you
like,
get near the truth to someone who doesn't accept truth, they will freak out rather than absorb that truth. But they just have lied to them. A lot of people can't go more than a few minutes without lying to themselves. And if you can't go a few minutes without lying to yourself, you're definitely lying to others. And you're definitely not going to be accepting of any truth that hits your ears. That will cause a freak out session.
well, I've been thinking about how to show, express, feel the other way. So if you did like instead of more like the other way that you're going after the real bad guy.
Hmm.
That actually there's not that many of them.
Well, right, and that's the energy that's needed
Yeah.
because
So,
it's
like the wild. I just listened to what the women who run with the wolves. I'd never listened to that before.
I don't know what that
So
is.
great, just a great female energy, really being nurtured and avail and given the freedom to blossom instead of you're wild and crazy, be silent. It's
Mm.
like let it be born within safety, like amazing marriages where the woman and the man are both free to totally fully express themselves, not like, hey, be quiet, you're making me uncomfortable because I have my own issues. I'm not
Mm.
talking about that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
anyway, a guttural lioness and lion, like you will no longer fuck with this country, like that
Mm.
feeling. That's
Yeah.
powerful, and I like that's the women that I am seeing and witnessing, and the men that are really like yourself that I wrote about in my books, like that are got their stability on, that have like almost like not playing in any party, you know,
Mhm.
those need to meet each other. But we're in the box that you can't. It's like you can't find each other. If that makes sense, you got to like actually leave, and you'll end up meeting each other doing what you love to do,
Hmm.
being in the lioness and the lion. Then does that make sense? And
What?
so I'm just working on the what I'm trying to say, or hopefully I'll get there. Is really sharing and reaching and feeling the other full circle, but the opposite of a screaming out of victim and frustration, and more screaming from the not even screaming, more roaring to actually combat the real bad guys. So
Well, I could extrapolate something from what you're saying, and
thank
that's
you.
how I always talk about animus, how that when you live in stress too long, you get into female animus, which is a caricature of masculinity, and then men that spend too much time in stress, they become a caricature of femininity, um, which is not real. There you can be in your feminine and be very powerful, right? Because
Well,
you know,
yeah,
and you
just like lioness. I mean, look, nature. Yeah.
so the opposite of somebody with blue hair screaming in a high pitched shrill would be a woman with regular colored hair screaming with a wail that is you know guttural because there is lower registers in a female voice, not as low as a male voice. And then same thing with a man. You can there's different registers of vocals, and when you're in your real voice, I mean, how many people have you met that don't speak in their real voice? They use like a thin bandwidth
Oh
of their
yeah.
voice that's
What are you
too
talking
high.
about? Oh my god! Like, oh my god! What do you mean? What
Quaddle
are you talking
fry,
about?
quaddle fry.
I really don't even like what you just said.
I literally just try to squeeze in as many literal ways as I can, and
I'm like,
it's and
I'm
it.
so like offended. Like,
And just so you know, I'm going upturn with every end of every statement, just so you know that you don't have to take me seriously in any way because I'm flexible. But this is not how someone
I'm not
who's in their
offended.
power speaks. So I think what you're saying is be in your
Yeah,
feminine
yeah,
power, be in your
yeah.
masculine power, and then
Balance.
just and then be in your
Oh,
integrated self. And when you're integrated, you're a force to be reckoned with. And that's what I was talking about earlier, where if you don't integrate the fact that you can be a monster, if you don't integrate the shadow, you're not integrating the actual teeth of your being. So you're still, it's you have to admit to yourself that you can be dangerous to be
yeah,
whole, because I mean you're just physically strong. You know what I mean? Like humans are physically strong when they're integrated both physically and mentally. We're apex predators.
yeah. Well, I just to answer your question that we had privately about, because I just took this amazing course that literally, and I'll this is the answer. It like helped me integrate a bunch of old shit. And when I went to my first like, what do you want and who are you? I drove down the exit of Sturgis accidentally, and I was like, you know what's funny is I'm Angie Sturgis, and like, who was that? Not the abused kid. Like, actually, I wasn't abused really. I'm the one who's like, let's do that. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But I was the one that was like the goofball, the dancer, the like, and my rough side was I called out perps. I
Hmm.
kicked guys out of bars. And when I was like 8,
Hmm.
and I actually escaped some weird shit too. I was almost kidnapped more than once. That was some fucking scary shit. And you got out. Like I will find the escape route. Like I'm not having that happen.
Yeah.
And just honing like, and then when I remove all of the hurdles of like, this one told you to shut up, this one told you that you're worthless, this, and you believed them, like you start taking those out, and really it's integrating my freaking country rebel awesome kid self, and letting her play, really. And ironically and awesome, it's like a gift in my beautiful life. Oh my god, I love it so much. It's my kid is my inner child.
Hmm.
She's like literally so, she's such a badass. I love this kid so much, and so she's
Well,
she's my teacher, really.
I think what you're pointing out is, when we are all, in a sense, just kids, especially if we put ourselves aside and became a caricature and fragmented at an early age. So then when you go back and
That's true.
you integrate, when you're integrating, you find out that you're kind of just like a child. But then the thing is, you can say you're kind of just like a child, or is that just mean that your being has access to feelings in the real time? And so then rather than putting up an ego shield that doesn't have any feelings because you're not actually present when you're in an ego, when you're actually present and you haven't been present since you were a child, then you are effectively a child once again. And then you have to learn how to feel feelings in real time when you're present. And that's very overwhelming if you're an adult.
I can let Jean. I literally like, Jean. How'd you feel about that? I could just see her like,
Well, but that's literally overwhelming, like the
yeah,
actual
exactly.
word
Yeah,
literally.
it'll be fine.
When
You'll be
when
fine.
you're when you're having to deal with feelings,
Mm-hmm.
at the grocery store or with family members that you haven't actually had feelings real time because you haven't allowed yourself, because you've only experienced those family members or going to the grocery store or saying hello to your neighbors as an ego, because you weren't actually there, you weren't actually present for, let's say, 45 years or 50 years or however old
Right.
whomever is
Jean.
watching this is.
Jean says, "Yes, that's me now." Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, so then the thing is, you can then admonish yourself for, why am I feeling, what is this swirl of feelings? I need to
Yeah.
lock it up, I need to get it together. Or you need to say to yourself, well, I'm in the process of integration and it's okay. and I will, I need to just breathe, stay in presence. You know, if some tears flow out of my eyes, with breathing and staying present, I'm not going to fall into a huffing and puffing child cry. I'll
Right.
just shoot maybe some tears out of my eyes, and no one will notice. It'll be the same thing as having like an allergy attack in front of people.
Just say you're sick. It's like this.
Yeah,
You're like,
just, oh, my
looking on
allergies.
my side over here.
Right, or my
You'll be
allergies,
fine,
or I
Gene.
don't know why my eyes are leaking right now. Pardon
You
me.
can do it.
Go to the bathroom, collect yourself, come back, and stay in presence. And then, the other thing is I've people that are wiser than me have said that when you're integrated and when you're in your presence, you're kind of perennially some version of a child. What we deem being adult is picking out your ego shield and to stay in that ego shield, and that is what you are. You are a truck driver, a doctor.
Right.
You are a member of the blue team, and you love the Chicago Bears, and you also are a big sports guy. And how's the weather? We're getting some rain soon, or asking the same questions, doing the same things every day, because that's your ego shield that you're putting on, and you're avoiding feelings by doing that.
Look at me. I'm deflecting, showing you a poster of meat.
All the cuts of meat. That's good.
I have a stool here, so I can do a little shot with in front of the meat.
Yeah.
Talking about meat. Anyway. Yeah.
But does that make sense? What I was just saying.
Of course. Yeah. We just say it. Yeah. And the amazing thing with me stepping into my own power is also, and David says the links women will go to protect their kids, and I'll come back to that. But with me, it's my links. I'll go to like stay connected with my kid, and as I listen to her and really like grow with her, it's becoming more. Yeah, she's right. It's becoming more dragon, like a dragon, and then still playful, but no longer carrying someone else's sadness,
Right.
or stopping a voice because it hurts somebody's feelings.
Right.
Well,
Like,
that's sorry.
That's the other thing. It's like the truth can sting. The truth can be harsh, but if you are speaking your truth, and you're not purposely trying to be harsh with someone,
Right. And
but
listen, what I'm saying, there's a lot of guys with the teeny little dicks out there that want to be like not only submissive but like dominated. So it's like, that's part of like I feel like in my service work is to really share what I've heard so that we can like, hey, y'all better hug each other there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you eating? Let's start with what you're eating. Let's start with don't drink the tap water, and then get your blood flow going. Works with those peckers not working.
Oh, well, yeah.
And stop kids. That's it. You can shave off like so much pain, repeated abuse, if you just stop that. And what has stopped me in my fear is basically my science fair project, right? When I dissect the real problem and you see who the real problem is, and it's the same problem. It's the same bad guys in a whole bunch of places.
Yeah.
That to me, honestly, that it has been like, it's fearful to me. And I finally got over that. I still have feel in my voice because all of the silencing and stuff and the censoring and all that shit it's scary to me. It's like that shit. I'm like, ugh, that stuff like gives me the creeps. You know what I mean? So I'm stepping into not letting that stop me. You're like, well, there's that issue too. You know what I mean? Don't stop and be silent and go hide. Find another way. Do tent revival meetings. Like meet me in your backyard. Let's have a party. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm
Well,
like, come out of hiding and fear on every level. That's what I'm meditating on.
there's a lot of religious texts that have a lot of validity. There's, of course, my favorite one is the Emerald Tablets because that's kind of where all religions come from. However, if you do a search for "do not be afraid" in Catholicism in the Bible, and there's so many
Be afraid.
lines. No, there's so many lines that say, "But do not be afraid."
Oh
So
God.
do
Yeah,
not
too.
be afraid.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
So, fear, FDR, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Because what you're talking about is becoming not present. Because as soon as you're in fear, you're not present.
I just had the vision, thank you, of that when they're the story in the Bible when they're in the sea turmoil and Jesus is sleeping and in the boat, like wasn't even worried about the huge storm and they're like because you just of course we're gonna be fine. Of course you're gonna cuddle up and sleep like a baby in a storm and I can relate to that on so many levels of just that's the true faith, like having true
Well, and,
faith.
and, and also, why be afraid of meeting someone that you haven't met yet, have no plans to meet, and if you do meet, you've always been able to, you know, you witty and you'll find your way out, or you'll have a thing
Oh,
explode off your face, or
that's true. That's
what.
true. That's true.
The,
That's true. It's
the
where
point
I
is
got
that
this.
you're crafty. So, but
That.
you're talking about being afraid of, a perpetrator or whatever you're afraid of. Just to not. There's a reason why the "but do not be afraid" appears so many times because it's about
Thank
staying
you.
present.
Thank you for that reminder. I'm
Hmm.
writing it down. And
Nothing to
David,
fear but fear itself. FDR. That's another one. And then because as soon as you fall into fear, you're not present.
oh, that's what they came to wake Jesus because they believed he could calm the storm, but they didn't think he would save them. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, yeah. It's like, but the point of that story is go to sleep, relax.
Well, well,
But
no,
like,
just
just
don't be
relax and be
afraid.
totally faithful.
You're gonna be deal with whatever you have to deal with, but don't deal with it in fear.
Give a man a hug, slap him on the shoulder, and grunt so you both know you're bros. LOL. Yeah, no, because that's he was referring when I said men go give him a hug. Men need affection, y'all, big time,
Hmm.
super big time. I give the
And then
best.
and then when women are stuck in their animus, they don't give men any affection.
No, oh
And
my god,
modern society puts women into their animus, and that's of course the feminist movement. What a scam! And of course the feminist movement was to double the tax base.
I was watching a feminist videos today, and it was like,
Sorry to hear
I'm
that.
like, I almost didn't want to. I don't even want to chime in because I don't want to waste my time getting in an argument, you know.
Hmm.
But I my thought was like, nobody, I don't know anybody who would want to be with you. Sorry. You know what I mean? You're just like you're so mean. It's like so mean to men. Like the whole thing is like men do this and they're horrible men and it's like damn. And because of toxic masculinity, you do this and this.
Have,
And that's why we
have
don't
you?
have babies. And that's why we're gonna kill civilization because and I'm
There's
like,
an Instagram account
nobody
called.
wants to bone you, lady. I don't like is that terrible to say? I've been then I've
There,
had loot. Loot is like a
there's
truth serum.
there's an Instagram account called Homath.
What?
There's there's an
Oh,
Instagram account called Homath.
oh math?
You got to check it out. So
Okay.
essentially, what it is, it's an autistic guy that is very logical, and all he does is break down videos that women have put up on the internet. Um, like it'll be a woman explaining why she only dates men that make over $300,000 a year.
Gosh, how do you spell it?
Hoemath, I believe.
Okay.
Any rate, it's both tragic and hilarious, and really puts a flashlight on some major things wrong with our culture. Um, I'm double
Okay,
checking, but that's the right
I
one.
got it. I found it.
It is
So,
HOE, man.
but I feel mortified when because I don't even want to get into the argument, but it's like you can see it so clearly on so many levels. And I'm not saying some of the things they're arguing about are not true. It's just that, damn, you're coming at it like ruin the men and women. Like they want the men just either gone or simpy. That when I describe some of the men have asked me to be like, they want to be like super submissive simpy dudes. There are women out there. I'm like, y'all, I should start a dating app. You guys can meet each other. I don't want to do it. I could take pictures and like I could take an amazing photo shoot. Hey, listen, out there in the world, I need an amazing like kick ass old model school like photo shoot that's hot as fucking hell with Peter Lindbergh style Italian Vogue. Let's do it.
Yeah, that is the right Instagram page. Um,
And then make comments
as,
about all this from a bonding standpoint. I think we need amazing men and amazing women. And the amazing women want to.
well,
Too, by the way.
we need men and women outside of animus in their actual masculine and feminine, so that they're in their power and in their truth.
Yeah.
That's the way up, because you can't, when you're speaking your truth all the time, it has a resonance, and you're not going to be influenced by truth or by things that are not true, because the vibration is wrong. It's just plain as day. But if you're constantly lying to yourself and you're constantly doing escapism things, then you don't have that frequency. So then when someone is telling you lies, you don't pick it up.
Oh, because you're not even paying attention. You're
Well,
like you're
because you're lying so often to yourself that when someone tells you lies, your foundation is sand. So you don't have the vibration of truth unless you're telling yourself the truth.
You know what the best and my biggest truth, which is totally Angie Sturgis, my little kid me, is on the dance floor.
Okay.
It's the best. Like that
just expressing yourself.
Well, it's like storytelling, wacky improv, mime. I was a mime when I was 8. And it just hilariousness. Like I absolutely love starting dance floors. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing to do. That and making out, and putting a baby to sleep. That's it.
Yeah, and then doing a dance that's not very serious.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. The first dance.
If you're trying to act cool when you're doing a dance, you've probably already lost.
Yeah. So speaking of, I did challenge Pee Wee Herman to a dance off.
How'd it go?
He died.
During the dance?
No.
Oh, before.
He died.
He died before you could have the dance.
And then Aurelia, my kid, she's like, "Mommy, that means you won."
Technically.
But this is so funny and horrible at the same time. That's my sense of humor. But I think I need to, as far as like embracing that side, like the kid side and the working out and the goofball and like actually doing what I really love to do. I think I should probably, find the Pee Wee Herman dance and do some you know how you could do the sideways on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to do the Pee Wee Herman dance. I just thought of that. I should do it. You know what I mean? Do it with them. Poor thing. I love them. I love Pee Wee.
I'm not familiar with the Pee Wee Herman dance, but I believe that. I do remember him from it. I know who he is. But.
Yeah, I loved Pee Wee Herman, and I'm like the female. Safe Side Super Chick is totally the female Pee Wee Herman. They should have been a couple. That's why I was like, we need to do a dance off. I challenge you. Yeah. And he died. Fuck. So I just want to.
It was somewhat recently too that he died.
Yeah, well, somewhat recently that I started challenging him. Anyway, that's like me. I gotta force myself to dance because as far as when you say the escapism and like not doing things, I don't do or not. I used to not do. What I really, really want to do is these crazy dances. It's the most fun with the puppets and everything, and that's last if or has been the last if not done at all on the list.
Hmm. Well, what do I guess I don't know.
It's
But
like really like, well, why aren't you doing that then?
yeah, I mean, I thought you were doing that. You had like the silks that you dance in, and
I did. I love that. Although I hurt myself so many times doing that, and my child literally took that thing from me. Like that whole my whole little apparatus became my child's apartment, and I love it so much. Like I love her in it. She's got all these different, and she's a total introvert. So for her to like little be in the hammocks and then crawl around, swing, and like hang out and all, I just she took it. So I could unhook it at night. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I have a ring. I
mhm.
could do that. Uh, yeah, but with that, yeah, okay, I could do that. Uh,
So, I mean, all I'm saying is I think you were doing that, so it's not like you're not doing it at all. But,
but yeah, I was doing that, and then I stopped.
mhm.
Oh, because I got bogged down with tasks. That's why.
Well, cut up the rug again.
Yeah. Speaking of, I want to integrate yoga with the dance somehow, and in general, I have to do it. I have to break through my yoga issues and, and just do it. Maybe it's like my. I'm not the only one.
A
Uh,
lot of people don't have a yoga block. I mean,
so I actually got a yoga block. I bought one, and
a
I
lot of
put
people have those.
everywhere. So it's like, here's your opportunity. Here's another one.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get into these. I'll just be in warrior stance. This will be my all
Yeah,
right.
you could put that into a dance move, I reckon.
I would think, right? You just stay and you just hold it. You hold a move.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd get in like those little squat moves that you're just in some weird little position.
I like this. This is key
Yeah,
for me. I'll just that'd be easy for me to dance if I just start doing yoga moves.
perfect, perfect. My
Yeah,
favorite was you said the only thing that doesn't lie are little kids in yoga pants. God, I've used
that's
that so
true.
many times.
That
So
is
fun.
true. Small children in yoga pants don't lie. Although I will admit, I think nowadays they got like high tensile strength yoga pants. That's kind of like how jeans can lie to you. But you got to just make sure that it's not that new yoga pant material.
Hey,
That'll,
speaking of,
that'll lie to you.
I did it. I did my first product meeting today. God, I'm like I'm excited, but I'm also it's just unfamiliar of being, like a mogul. It's kind of fun. I'm like, I have to be if I could be my 8-year-old kid, I'd be like, anyway, we're gonna play act right now. So anyway, I own the
Yeah.
company, and this is what we're doing.
Okay.
There is picture a it'd be like a blanket, like a travel blanket that you could take anywhere. It's waterproof on one side and absorbable on the other side. So you can use it for many things. You can take it to the beach. It's a clever little thing. It could be warm or used as a cool sort of. Um,
Okay.
it also has you could hang it.
Is this a riddle or is
Uh,
this an actual
no, it's just the
product?
same piece of fabric.
Okay.
It goes into all of these different shapes, including a dress, big wide pants, like an outfit. Like you can do a lot with it,
Okay.
and it comes with like a tie, like a probably ropey thing. Like almost like you're climbing a mountain, but like
Okay. You could do a
sex
lot. You could do a lot with a section of rope. Okay.
and and just a essentially a smaller sari with holes that you can move. You have with like really cool like little carabiner fasteners. That's it. And then literally the ways you can move that thing around are endless, and it's amazing. My my favorite is like a long dress that you can satchel up, and you can actually fold it to create like a little bag. Like you
Okay.
made like a little bag. So anyway, the key is you can pee in it.
You can pee in it.
You can be so all my girlfriends.
It's also a diaper.
It's also a diaper. Exactly. It's exactly it. It's so
Sorry, not
genius.
sorry. It's also a diaper. Perfect.
Oh God, I love
Perfect.
me. I
That's
literally was like,
that's
and
a great idea.
I know it is, and they were so excited about it, and it's like happening, and I'm like so thrilled. I love it so much because I want it. I've already sold them. They're like, I want that. I can sell it, but it's expensive. But it's like you got something from Prada, you know, but a
Mm,
hunting style. Like it's like super sexy high. It's like what would it be? It could probably be at a Cabela's. It could totally be at a Cabela's, and it's
okay.
also a dress. You know, like it could be. It's you could actually repackage it. You could be the same product, and you could repackage it.
And this is the sorry, not sorry product,
Yeah.
and that's on AngelaShelton.com.
Not yet, but it's gonna be everything's changing. My site's gonna change, everything. I'm like, and that's my like product. I'm so excited. And then this book, I'm sending you this way to like map my day out and use 24 hours, not this whole 9 to 5 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Has been, and I'm playing with the placement. It's like this is the first way to, and like what you want to actually get done in your day and what you need to monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it's almost like try to keep up with yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, did you do everything on this page? Did you do all the like that came from me watching you and all the fellas that I wrote about in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do, like it's there's places to check it off. Your sunlight, your meditation, your cold, your hot. Did you
Yeah.
put the minerals in?
Mm-hmm.
Did you either eat or did you fast?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do yoga? Did you breathe? Did you laugh? You know,
That's important.
I'm telling you, you got to figure out kid sizes too. Yeah, okay. My 7-year-old saved up her money from milking the goats to buy herself a hammock, and she loves that kind of thing. And it could also be a hammock. I
What
mean,
can't it do? You can dookie in it. You can.
you can do get it. Well, also, you know, it'd be amazing. What I want is for the bits to actually be good for your body. So I said like no polyester. So far, bamboo fabric is what we're leaning on. That seems to be the as the absorbent. But then we just found another one that it's like happening. I'm so excited.
That's great.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. So, and it's so much easier than you think. And now I have found it for your merino underwear.
Ooh.
Yes, my
Yeah. No,
friend.
I want to. I for the one in Nashville, I want to have a product merino underwear
I
because
know.
if you
It'd be
just keep
great,
the polyester off your junk, and then
right?
also I want to make the merino underwear like so fashionable that your girlfriend will steal it.
Feel
So,
it.
so you have to buy another pair.
Nice.
You know, have
Yeah.
it be like that. You know, better than their yoga pants, so they end up taking it. It might be like just below the knee or something on a woman, but down to the whole thigh on a man. You know,
Nice. And
I
would
don't
you do
know.
a shirt? Do you do a shirt too? No, just the underwear.
I mean, I just want to do because the thing that is just if you can keep the plastic off your nether regions, that's a huge win. So
What's
then
another level? Like that's
you
another
could,
level. You're like,
you can buy a cotton shirt easily, but a lot of people are wearing a lot of polyester pants. But at least if you put the merino in between the polyester, it's a win. So
right. But this one it has a little the waterproof bit. Anyway, I was super
where
excited about it.
waterproof is going to have to be not. Well, you could do waxed cotton, but
You can
that'll
have
be
a
a lot.
silver. That's the kind of thing. If it can have a silver thread mixed in, that's great for undergarments. It
Yeah,
makes the material like anti silver. That's what I
yeah.
asked. Like I asked about like copper too on the same.
Silver is great, but merino is already antimicrobial. You don't have to add anything to merino. 100% merino wool.
Nice. It makes the material. It's near common in backpacking gear. It's super. Oh, sweet, because this is gonna be like camping gear too. It's
Mm.
like it's like going to Burning Man. You would definitely want this thing, and also you can lay in it and you can have sex in it. You can, you know, if you were in the time when you're like the nasty, not the nasty, but the just let's play in it
It's
sex
literally
time.
everything.
You
Nothing
use
it
the
can't
slippery
do.
side. and then wash it off. You're welcome. It's big enough for to lay over the whole bed. You know what I'm saying? I know you love me.
I mean, sounds like something everyone needs for sure.
It's working. It's like I was like, how can I be? What's my contribution to the world?
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So freaking funny. Hold on. So that's my update.
Yeah, that's.
What else are we talking about? Like, okay, so I'm over my fear of thank you of the super bad guys because I'm not.
You're not gonna run into them anyway.
Well,
Right?
it's also
And if you do,
honestly,
your face will explode.
um, you know, that's probably yeah. You know what I just realized? It also comes from having been yelled at like every week, every 2 weeks for years.
Mhm.
It's very like you can get into that PTSD, and I don't feel that anymore. That PTSD, like you don't know when it's coming, so you're like in a constant state of uh, ready for anything.
Okay.
So that's hard to take a breath.
You're talking about when you're in fight or flight?
Yeah, when you're being yelled at. So now I feel that I am okay. I just checked to see. It's not available. Oh well. If you reapply lanolin to wool, it
Okay.
sheds water for kids washable diapers. They use lanolin soap.
Huh. Lanolin?
Lanolin. This is the beginning. Lanolin.
Sheep's wool.
I'm making this. Hold on. I still have this headache from here to here. I feel like I need to drink some more milk and water. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe it's yeah.
This is like what happens. Like now you're in a pause of like
Me?
and scene. No, no, and just sitting here having a conversation. This is like you and I on the phone. So just some history, David. Like he and I would literally get on the phone and it would be like 3 hours. And
Yeah,
he'd
we
talk
talked for a
about
long time, and then we're like, we just got to do this live.
we should rip. Yeah, because what we're talking about is just so.
Mhm.
Okay, so back to life change. My
Mhm.
mom, me hanging out with my mom, has changed a lot because of you. Thank you. And now
Yeah,
also because this class I just took, HCL, I'm going to tell you, I would get such a kick out of you taking it. That'd be awesome.
I I know you've said that, and I've tried to pry as much as I can, and I'm like, what am I gonna learn?
I guess that's what it is. It would be like the little kid you, maybe. Maybe that's what that is. It would bring that out.
Hmm.
Shove your two fingers into the webbing between index and thumb and pinch hard. Hurts like hell. Oh wait, here, yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. All right, hold on. God dang it. Mm.
The webbing of your fingers.
Yeah, if you squeeze this really hard, the key is it's hard to squeeze it hard on yourself. But it's the best if somebody else will do it to you and you just
Mhm.
get them real hard.
And then what? Oh, for headaches.
Yeah, it's hard to do it on yourself.
Hmm.
But thanks for that reminder, Dave. You know everything. He's even got goats.
Goats.
Hell yeah.
Goats are nice.
Ow.
Very
Oh
good.
yeah, that one. Okay. Oh god, you get like right here. If you just squeeze it. Oh, you know what it is? It's because it hurts so bad. It takes the pain out of your head and puts it in your arm.
You don't even realize you have a headache if you
You're like,
hit your
oh, because it hurts so bad. You're like sending that
just
pain.
hit your hand with a hammer, and then you won't worry about the headache.
Oh god.
That's how it works.
Oh,
Good as new.
it's all good. Fine. Okay, wait.
Now you're healed.
I would love a neck adjustment from a really good chiropractor. Just like old like. Oh,
I've been to a lot of Kairos. Kairos don't really. I'll try it again. People rave about Kairos. I don't usually get a huge thing out of
but
chiropractic.
there's sometimes when your neck is like maybe
I've
that's
been there where my neck is, but then the Cairo doesn't fix it. That's the only problem.
right. But you know what? It seems like if I start following you guys more and actually doing the yoga, 'cause that's the one thing I haven't really done that like I got the minerals. I got the meat. I got my red light therapy. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
And yoga is my
Mm.
missing thing. So I think my challenge to myself is going to be
I,
filming it. Like just film it and just
I,
like, you know, oh,
I think doing yoga does help you to maintain presence because you're just
I,
more at peace because you're getting
I'm not,
comfortable
I
being
don't,
in uncomfortable positions.
I'm more about the body movements. That's why I kind of want to get it. Like I want to like, I got I feel like I got the presence. I want to get out of this locked stuff in my body. Like I feel it in my, like, it's like basically like, where your wings are back here. And that's a place that I haven't stood up straight because I've been beaten down.
Mm.
And lower back still, only when I'm angry about money. Had a whole great discussion about that. My friend is going to have a total miraculous turnaround in her pain. Watch, it'll be amazing. She's like, you know what? It's crazy. I woke up and gone.
Mm.
Amen. I see it happening. And so I want to help like people like Jean um, get out of their bodies and like go to the next level. So
Oh yeah.
if I challenge myself and actually film it and like maybe do it together, that's why I was thinking about doing it with
So,
you.
so because I'm starting to run out of steam, does anybody have any questions that's still on? If
Oh, I got goats and sheep. It doesn't.
answer a couple of questions and then I'm going to retire.
I hear you. Same. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm
I got
running out of
goats and
steam.
sheep. It doesn't hurt much when you don't have a headache. Oh yeah, that's funny. It only hurts if you have a headache. Okay. You got any more questions for him, David? You on here, Gene? Still? Ow. It's like headache time. Well, okay. So, what would you do to go to sleep if, like, would I take anything before I'm gonna go to sleep? If everyone around me's sick, I had meat, I had milk. So, what's
Mm.
a like boost, don't get sick thing I could go to sleep with?
I would do the black seed
I
oil.
really
I would do the black seed oil, gargle it before you go to sleep.
thank you for that reminder.
I would do some saline nasal spray or some kind of nasal spray because then you're putting, if anything has gotten into your nasal cavities, you can clean it out with a little saline nasal spray. So before you go to sleep, so then whatever's in there isn't going to grow, you know, bacteria, fungus, whatever. Um, if you have access to like a humidifier, you could put some salt in a humidifier.
Oh,
So salt water instead of regular water. That can break some humidifiers, but it will also work to put salt in the air, which is when you're near the sea. That's one of the reasons why it's medicinal, because you're breathing in salt, so that can help clear out your lungs.
awesome. Okay.
That breath trainer thing, because if you're
Oh my God, this thing.
if you're
It's
working
so
your
funny.
diaphragm down and up, that can be helpful.
I have made many people laugh with this thing. What do you
Wow.
mean? This thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to bend over.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this whole like so it's just ridiculous.
So that it puts more force on the diaphragm.
Well, so you're really trying. God, I need to do it more. And I'm ready. I'm ready to address the breathing. And I found even some Kundalini Kiras, whatever they're called,
Yeah.
specifically for breathing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, all right, all right. It's
Yeah. The
time.
Kundalini place here shut down. I used to do that. I think
Oh,
it's helpful.
Gene, this is
A bass root and breath trainer.
it's a bass rootin breath trainer. It trains your breath. I had a breathe. It trains
No,
your lungs basically. Like it.
strengthens your diaphragm, which improves your ability to
Yeah.
breathe.
Uh, all All right, it's bedtime.
Yeah, no.
We started with I gotta call my doctor, and now I ended with gotta call my doctor. This is I'll tell you more about it, Gene, on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I will see y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate you and everybody that got into it. And then next Thursday, I will have the Rumble fixed so we can go totally uncensored on X and Rumble. So,
I can tell you some more stories in the, in the BBC world.
there's no words that
Yeah,
can't be said
I'm
on
telling you,
X and Rumble.
SPH,
Yeah,
crazy, crazy. Anyway, y'all should hug yourselves. You're awesome.
yeah, yeah. There's
It's happening. I see it. I got your merino underwear people for you. You're welcome.
yes, I need that. I
I'm
need
so
that's
excited.
another good product.
And all the like to make all the websites love yours better. And oh my god, I got you. It's like I can't believe I'm like yay.
Mudassir. Yeah.
And then this, I'm like literally, if anybody loves me, please, I want your last bottles of these.
Yeah,
So I'm
the law still hasn't passed. It's still in Congress, so I plan on making it as long as it's legal. But the next version of Loot, I think, is even better.
that's
Um,
true. But I'm like,
so
I want the original.
yeah, the original has its
I'm
purpose.
I want it.
There's some things that the
And
original
so
would be better at than the next version.
this is
The next version is more of a daytime elixir, let's just say, where the original is more of an evening time.
yeah. Since I've found this awesome team that I can use that I have now, I'll
Mm.
ask them for you. And I want to I want something that's my loot page that like buy Angela her loot. You know,
Oh yeah,
and they
yeah,
pay for
let's do
it,
it.
and it ships to me.
Yeah,
And then I get like I'll give it like a free phone call or something.
there you go. Yeah,
Hey,
let's
look at
do it.
that. That's like let's do it. That's
That'll
a
be
great
Loot.
idea.
Yeah,
Look
I'll
me
let
up.
you.
That's a great idea. I gotta call somebody. All right,
All right.
I am. So this is me on a shot of loot, by the way. I hope it's been fun.
Yeah, no, it's been wonderful. Do
I'm gonna.
you want me to save this stream and send it to you?
Hell yeah!
Okay. All right.
I'm like my.
Well, and we're doing this next Thursday, or what do you
Yeah.
got?
Well. I mean, really, this is really my Thursday stirring up trouble. It's just I
Yeah.
don't cook anymore, really, except it's meat. All the ways Angela can cook her meat, from SPH to BBC, stirring up trouble, season 3.
That rhymes. That's it. That's the rhyme.
That's funny. Oh my god, that
Yeah.
was fun. Oh Lord, I love all y'all. That was fun.
All right. I love all of y'all too.
I'll stop.
And
I'll stop doing the stuff that's making me.
and remember those pressure points too.
Oh my
To
god.
do that before bed. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are sick around here too. It's a bummer.
Gene likes your voice. It's very calming. Oh yeah, he could do like, you could do like meditation.
Next Thursday, there's gonna be a musical guest here too. So I think it's my buddy who he's had a #1 hit. He plays on Broadway,
Nice.
and I got him. His musical taste is different than mine, so I was introducing him to music I like, and he has fallen in love with "Lose Control" by Teddy Swims.
I don't
So I
know
think
that.
it's a good one.
Cool. I can just dance.
So yeah, I think next week we're gonna do that on this. But yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you, I'm sure, before next Thursday, but I'll see you next Thursday.
Sweet.
on
Have
the
fun.
internet.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Night.